dreamCat English Learning. In this video, along with learning new words, you practice reading, listening, and speaking.
My name is Emma, and I'm a waiter in a busy restaurant. I've been working here for about 2 years now, and every day is different. Some days are great, while others can be a bit challenging. Let me tell you about a typical day at work. I start my day by arriving at the restaurant around 10 a.m. We don't open until 11, so I have an hour to get everything ready. I set the tables, make sure the menus are clean, and check that we have enough napkins and utensils. After that, I make sure the coffee machine is working because we get a lot of customers who love their coffee in the morning. As soon as the restaurant opens, the first customers start coming in. Some people are in a rush because they're on their lunch break, while others have more time and like to chat. I always try to be friendly and greet everyone with a smile. Taking orders is usually fun, but sometimes people can be a little difficult. For example, today one customer was upset because their soup wasn't hot enough. I quickly took it back to the kitchen and asked the chef to heat it up. When I returned it to the customer, they were happy again. During the lunch rush, things can get pretty hectic. The restaurant fills up fast, and I have to move quickly from table to table. I'm usually balancing trays of food, refilling drinks, and answering questions all at the same time. Today, I had a big group of 10 people who all wanted different things, and it took me a while to get everything right. But in the end, they thanked me for my service, and that made me feel good. In the afternoon, things usually calm down a bit. I have more time to chat with regular customers. There's one old man who comes in every day at 3 p.m. for his coffee and slice of pie. He always asks me how my day is going, and I enjoy our little conversation. The hardest part of my job is when things go wrong in the kitchen. Today, there was a small mistake with an order. One table got the wrong dish. I had to apologize and explain the situation, but luckily the customers were very understanding. We gave them a free dessert to make up for it, and they left happy. By the time my shift ends around 6 p.m., I'm usually pretty tired. But despite the challenges, I really enjoy my job. I like meeting new people and making sure they have good time at the restaurant. It's a lot of hard work, but at the end of the day, when I see happy customers, it's all worth it. Oh, I definitely have a few funny customer stories. Working as a waiter means I meet all kinds of people, and sometimes things get a bit interesting. One story I'll never forget happened a few months ago. It was a busy Friday evening, and the restaurant was packed. I had a table of 4 friends who were clearly in a great mood, laughing and joking around. They had been talking for a while when one of them said, "I'm going to order something I've never had before." His friends dared him to pick something off the menu without looking. He closed his eyes, pointed randomly, and handed me the menu. The dish he chose? Our spiciest curry, which even has a warning next to it on the menu that says extremely hot for those who love spice. I asked him a couple of times if he was sure about his choice, and he just laughed and said, "I can handle it, no problem." When the food arrived, the guy took one big bite of the curry, and immediately his face turned bright red. His eyes started watering, and he couldn't stop coughing. His friends were laughing so hard they could barely sit up straight. I brought him a glass of milk, which we keep in the kitchen just for situations like this. He drank it all in one gulp and then asked for more. After about 10 minutes of trying to cool down, he finally said, "Okay, maybe I should have looked at the menu first." He ended up ordering something less spicy, and we all had good laugh about it. His friends teased him for the rest of the night, and every time I passed their table, they would pretend to wipe their eyes and say, "Too spicy." Another time, we had a regular customer who came in dressed as a magician. He was a local performer, and after his meal, he decided to show some magic tricks to the other tables. He even made a spoon disappear. I still don't know how he did it, but the whole restaurant was clapping and cheering. We never found that spoon though, so I guess it still disappeared. Working in a restaurant can be tough, but moments like these remind me how much fun it can be too. There are definitely things I love about my job, and of course, a few things that I don't enjoy as much. Let me break it down. What I like about my job: meeting new people. One of the best parts of being a waiter is meeting so many different people every day. Some are regulars who I see often, and others are just passing through. I enjoy hearing little stories from customers, and sometimes they share funny or interesting things about their lives. The fast pace. I actually like that my job keeps me moving. When the restaurant is busy, the time flies by. I'm always on my feet, running between tables, taking orders, serving food, and making sure everything is going smoothly. It's never boring, and I like the energy. The teamwork. I work with a great group of people. The kitchen staff, other waiters, and the managers are all really supportive. When things get crazy during rush hour, we all help each other out. There's a real sense of teamwork, and it makes even the hardest days more fun. Making customers happy. There's something very satisfying about seeing someone enjoy their meal, or when a customer leaves a nice tip and says, "Thanks for the great service." It makes me feel proud of the work I do. I love when people leave with a smile on their face because I know I was part of making their day a little better. What I dislike about my job: difficult customers. Not every customer is easy to deal with. Sometimes people are rude, impatient, or impossible to please. No matter how hard I try, there are days when someone complains about things that are out of my control. That can be frustrating. For example, one time a customer was upset because they had to wait 5 minutes longer than expected, even though the restaurant was completely packed. Long hours on my feet. As much as I like being active, standing for hours can be exhausting. After a long shift, my feet and legs are usually sore. Some days I just want to collapse on the couch as soon as I get home. Unpredictable tips. Tips are a big part of my income, but they're not always consistent. Some days I make really good money, and other days, even after working hard, the tips are lower than I expected. It can be tough not knowing how much I'll make on any given day. When things go wrong in the kitchen. If the kitchen is backed up or if they make a mistake with an order, I'm the one who has to deal with an unhappy customer. Even though it's not my fault, I have to apologize and fix the problem. That can be stressful, especially when there's a lot going on. Overall, I enjoy my job because it's full of variety, and I like interacting with people. But like any job, it has its ups and downs.
Important and difficult words.
Waiter, meaning a person who serves food and drinks in a restaurant. Example: the waiter brought us the menu and asked what we wanted to drink. Hectic, meaning very busy and full of activity. Example, the restaurant was so hectic during lunch that I barely had time to sit down. Customer, meaning a person who buys goods or services. Example, the customer ordered a pizza and a salad for dinner. Rush, meaning a busy time when many people are doing something quickly. Example, during the lunch rush, the restaurant was full and everyone was in a hurry. Utensils, meaning tools used for eating or cooking, such as forks, knives, or spoons. Example, I made sure there were enough utensils on the table before the customers arrived. Challenging, meaning difficult but in a way that is interesting or rewarding. Example, being a waiter can be challenging, especially when the restaurant is full of people. Apologize, meaning to say sorry for something you did wrong. Example, I had to apologize to the customer because their food was late. Regular, meaning a customer who comes to a place often. Example, the regular customer ordered his usual coffee and pie. Curry, meaning a dish with meat or vegetables cooked in a spicy sauce. Example, the customer ordered a spicy curry, but it was too hot for him to eat. Spicy, meaning having a strong, hot flavor from spices. Example, be careful with this dish. It's very spicy and might be too hot for you. Magician, meaning a person who performs magic tricks as entertainment. Example, the magician made a coin disappear during his performance. Tease, meaning to make fun of someone in a playful or friendly way. Example, his friends teased him for ordering the spiciest dish on the menu. Teamwork, meaning working together with others to achieve something. Example, good teamwork is important when the restaurant gets very busy. Frustrating, meaning making you feel annoyed or upset because things are not going the way you want. Example, it's frustrating when customers are unhappy about things I can't control. Exhausted, meaning extremely tired. Example, after a long shift, Emma felt exhausted and just wanted to sleep. Balance, meaning to keep something steady and not fall. Example, Emma had to balance the tray full of drinks while walking quickly to the table. Complains, meaning to say that you are not happy with something. Example, the customer complained that their soup was cold, so Emma took it back to the kitchen. Satisfying, meaning making you feel happy or pleased because you've achieved something. Example, it's satisfying when customers leave the restaurant with a smile.
Thank you for being with us in this video. Remember that with continuous practice, you will reach the desired level. Learn other words and terms by watching our other videos, and please support us by subscribing, liking, introducing to your friends.